You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me.
What you are about to hear is real. The prophets wrote of a time when the signs of the end would be seen. This is where Bible prophecy and current events collide. This is Unsealed.
Hey man, welcome back to Unsealed, the official podcast of Wings of the Eagle. I'm Christopher Manti, your host for the day. I hope it finds you well. I hope you are a child of God. I hope you are born again. That is the only way, the only truth, and the only life. And desires to be with you forever. Amen? In Jesus alone. Okay. Special announcement. First of all, if you did not know, if you're on the email list for Wings of the Eagle, you have been notified several times already. And I've been trying to make some mention in our social feeds, but I did want to make an official invitation because this is very much a commission. A commission is a requirement. A commission is, this is your duty, right? As believers, as followers of Jesus, as disciples, you are commanded to finish the Great Commission before he returns. We are commanded to take the gospel to the ends of the earth, to every creature, it says. Every person who hasn't heard it needs to hear it. It doesn't mean everyone will accept it. It doesn't mean you'll be treated nicely. It doesn't mean any of that, but it means that they'll hear it. And how will they hear without a preacher, etc., right? So part of that, and it doesn't necessarily mean, around the world from where you are right now. It might just mean in your very town. But the fact is that we need to be witnessing Jesus to those who don't know him. And you know what the easiest group in the entire world basically to know for a fact that they do not know the real Jesus? The largest group possible in the world, that's the Muslims, okay? And they're growing. Islam is growing in numbers, in influence, in power, their nations. And I know this is going to be one of the worst ratings that this podcast will have, ever. The live viewers, the record people who will listen or watch later, we cannot be bothered with ministering with the gospel to our Muslim neighbors and enemies and friends. We just can't be bothered. Do you think God's okay with you not being bothered? Do you think he's all right with that? Do you think that's, it's Great Commission, except for in 2022, the Western Christians don't have to take it to the Muslims. Hey, we got Muslims in my town. All right, you don't have to go to the Middle East, even though that's where it's all headed and where you should be focused for your prayer time and your mission time. But the point is, they are here. What are we doing about it? Maybe you just don't feel equipped. Many of us don't. All right, we don't feel like we're prepared, so we don't know the questions we're going to get, or the atmosphere that'll be there, or where to even begin. I want to tell you about a place to get that equipping starting next Friday, a week from today. There is a conference being put on by Al-Fadi, our dear friend, former Muslim himself from Saudi Arabia. Who knows, okay? He knows what it's like to believe as a Muslim from Saudi. He knows what it likes to want to serve God, the God of Allah, and then he knows the truth, and he knows what it means to have your family back home and your friends hate you and not be welcome back in the country anymore that type of stuff. He knows it. He lives it. He walks it. And so he feels very strongly, and I do as well, that we need conferences that are online, that are available to everyone in the world to be able to participate, to learn, to get equipped, to get the love of God, that revelation or that Holy Spirit unction, whatever you want to call it, in your heart, to turn that page from not caring to caring a lot, to actually be motivated into action and information, even if it's just, teaching others about how to do it and spreading the gospel in the church like that, or the commission. All right. So I wanted to show you, first of all, what the deal is. This is the website. You see it in the description below if you're on YouTube. By the way, I'm so derelict in this. Please subscribe to the channel Wings of the Eagle. Hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever we go on live. And give to the ministry, wingsoftheeagle.com/donate. This is 100% brought to you by your tithes, offerings, and gifts, and no other way. So this ministry benefits you. Please support us. And yes, you may be seeing this on another channel, like Armageddon News, etc. But this is Wings of the Eagle, committed to three purposes: connecting the church, saving Israel, and preaching the gospel to Muslims. That's our three-legged stool. And so this is number 3. Go to CIRAinternational.com, C-I-R-A, CIRA. That is Al-Fadi's ministry. CIRAinternational.com/conference, or at the very top of the page, you'll see it right there, 2022 conference. And I'm sorry for those on podcast listening on audio. We're looking at the website right now. But just go there and you will get a complete breakdown, and I'll scroll through it right now to show you what the deal is. Here's the information. The first weekend begins again October 14th, which is a week from today. Today is the 7th of October. So 1 week from today, it begins at noon Eastern time. All these dates are noon Eastern. So instead of having one giant conference like all day, or even over 2 days like we did last year and the year before, it just got really long, and we don't want to, put anyone through that, including ourselves, those who are behind the scenes. So we split it up into 4 days. 4 days of very digestible chunks, okay, of about 4.5, 5 hours total for the day. And it's concentrated on one topic only. So all the speakers in the first day on the 14th will be about, and there's Al-Fadi, the apologetics of Christianity to Muslims, and about how to engage their arguments, and about how to approach them, and the best, scriptural ways to refute certain things or to bring up certain things. This is the most, elite, world-class group that you can possibly put together, I believe. You can, as an English-speaking person, if you speak English, there is no better day or conference or anything to ever be a part of than this. October 14th. Al-Fadi, of course, himself. George Hushni, okay, he's from the Middle East himself. Jay Smith, world-renowned apologist, in my opinion, the greatest apologist that I know of on planet Earth today. Period. David Wood, many of you may think he is the greatest apologist, and he might be, and he certainly is fearless in everything that he does. Samuel Green from Australia. Edward Dalcour. Again, these folks are in it. They are in it. They are focused on Muslims around the world, in the Middle East specifically. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. So, go sign up for this, at least, to get equipped to bring the gospel to your Muslim neighbors. And you see under many of the names, many of the faces on this the site, on the conference page, you can get a biography. It says View Bio, and then you can read all about this person if you're unfamiliar. Let me show you what that looks like. Again, sorry, apologies to the audio folks. There's Brother George. etc. Okay. Jay Smith. All right, read all about it, okay? Al-Fadi, of course, he's the man. All right, that's track one we're calling. That's track one. That's apologetics to our Muslim friends, right? Our Muslim friends have different questions and objections to the gospel message than our Western friends. So listen to some of the most informed and experienced Christian apologists give practical answers. Our attitude and different avenues of gospel explanation to share Christ with our Muslim friends. And honestly, that's the bottom line, isn't it? If we don't care about a salvation, the salvation of a soul, the salvation of a Muslim person, what are we doing? Are we really saved at all? Are you saved? If you don't care about a Muslim salvation, what has God done in you exactly? Because you know a Muslim is not going to heaven. Doesn't that bother you? Right? I mean, that should bother us. Okay, so that's track one, October 14th, next Friday. Next Saturday is part two. This one is a unique track that we've never done before, which is specifically to women, Muslim women. Muslim women have some unique needs and perspectives different from Western women. It's helpful to hear from other Westerners, other Western women who are effectively meeting, building relationships, and sharing Christ with Muslim women. And about half of these ladies, and some of them are don't have a photo because they need to remain private because they are in Muslim nations and are former Muslims. We're going to hear from Karen Bajani, who runs a tremendous ministry on her own, Pam Franks, who's dedicated her life to this, and then four, actually, other women who are in the Middle East and are former Muslims. It's so exciting that we get this opportunity. So you'll see two of them, Sister Sarah and Heidi, have bios there, and there'll be more on this track specifically to women. You don't have to be a woman, obviously, to know how to minister to a Muslim woman, but it's helpful to be one because that's just the way their religion and the culture is set up, right? They really don't want to interact with especially if you're married and they're married, and as a man going to a Muslim woman, it's very kind of weird, and the message is very difficult to deliver. Okay, but this will help. Please sign up for this Ministry to Muslim Women. That is Saturday, October 15th. Saturday, October 15th. Okay, again, these are day by day, only concentrated on topics. So apologetics on the 14th. On the 15th is Ministry to Muslim Women. And then we go to the next weekend. All right, so that's the first weekend. But then we go to weekend number 2. And we'll show you how to register here in a second. Weekend number 2 is Friday and Saturday, October 21st and 22nd. Again, 12 Eastern time to start. All of these are the same time, no matter what day you attend. Track 3 is going to concentrate on local Muslim outreach and discipleship, particularly among immigrants and students, because, frankly, in the Western nations, in America, these are most of the time the kind of Muslims you will meet, which are immigrants from other nations or students at colleges or high schools and universities and things. They stick together, okay? They have their own, Saudi groups or Indonesian groups or whatever, and how to approach them and how to bring the gospel in these situations, how to outreach to them. But frankly, again, just thinking of my town, and I'm sure it's not that different than your town. There are many Muslims here who are not immigrants, who are Americans, 1,000%, never ever lived anywhere else. They're not from anywhere else. Their families are not from anywhere else. They've converted to Islam, right? So they're not an immigrant and they're not a student, but here they are. This is going to help with them as well. And you're on your screen, you're seeing 3 former Muslims. Nasser al-Khatani is a Saudi himself. Of course, Al-Fadi is a Saudi. And Reverend Andrew Mark, who is serving in the Middle East now as well. And they, again, you cannot say they don't know what they're talking about. This is it. These guys have lived it. And as we say here, God is bringing Muslim immigrants and students to Western countries from all over the world. Many Muslims are being touched by the gospel and responding. So listen to speakers from a Muslim background as they share how the gospel reached them and their recommendations to reach the Muslims around you. Topics include His goodness leads to repentance, making disciples cross-culturally, bridging the universal gospel. So these men are for real. Very much looking forward to that. It's going to be an awesome day. And then prophecy. Yes, because we here at Wings of the Eagle are always looking to this. This is a part that I've really tried to put together the best panel that we can. So you're going to, on Saturday, October 22nd, hear from prophecy speakers focusing on the Middle East. Obviously, the Middle East will be the central focus of the coming days before Jesus returns. You know that watching this ministry and our broadcast and our church at End Time Church. Learn from speakers who are ministering to Muslims and Jews in the Middle East, Australia, and America. Keynote speaker Ron Cantor will be presenting the coming end time awakening. Ron Cantor there is on the left. You may have heard of him. He is a Messianic Jewish man. He lives in Israel and ministers full-time to Jews and Arabs. And that's what he does. And he's an awesome multimedia presence himself with God TV and several other projects. He'll tell you all about him. But he's an awesome way to lead that thing off. Christopher Anderson, you may know him. He's our good friend, my co-pastor at End Time Church. And he's going to have an awesome message about the Western Church basically giving a false gospel out and how we have to overcome that and how we have to understand what the truth is. Daniel Seckham, you're familiar with him probably. Again, over the years, we've hosted him and try to support the gospel work that he does, which is amazing stuff. Mark Davidson, writer of several books, including Daniel Revisited, one of my absolute touchstone works that will blow your mind if you've never read it. And Mike Bickle. Mike Bickle, head of IHOP Kansas City, International House of Prayer, really graced us with a message direct from KC. And I just really encourage you guys to be a part of this. Okay, so how do you become a part of it? Each track, each day that you want to attend is its own registration ticket, okay? All you need to do is fill in your email address, and the cost per track is $30. Unless you want both for a weekend. As you see on the screen here, it's $50, so you save $10. If you want both weekends, for all of the tracks, everything, it's $100 total. However, and you have to register separately for weekend 1 and weekend 2, okay? That's laid out very clearly on the page. But if you register today, and I mean today only, it ends at midnight Eastern tonight. It's over, 11:59 p.m. actually. Tonight, this code will not work anymore. If you go to register today for any of these tracks, any day, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 or 4, no matter what, and you put in the code at checkout, type in early bird, here, I'll even show you. $50, enter promo code right here, early bird, one word, apply, boom, down to $35. So you will save 30% off any ticket, 30% off any one, whether it's 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, or 4 days, whatever you want. 30% off ends tonight, October 7th, midnight Eastern. It's over. Okay, so I'm trying to save you money. If you want to save some dollars and go to this conference, and yes, it will be recorded. Even if you can't attend live, if you buy a ticket, you're going to get what you paid for. You're going to get it. Except, with the exception of the women's track, track 2, where most of it will not be recorded. That's at the request of the ladies themselves. Again, they want to keep their anonymity and privacy as much as possible. So for track 2, some of it was recorded, but most of it will not be. Okay, just want to let you know. Okay, Karen and Pam, they're out there. They don't mind, but these other sisters, they mind. Okay, so especially if we're talking about track 1, 3, and 4, totally recorded, totally available to you, even if you're not there live. Okay, so please go to sirainternational.com/conference and check out the page we just looked at. Register. Code Early Bird will stop working tonight. You must use it today. 30% off of anything that you register for. Good deal? All right. And again, what is the point? This is not a sales thing. This is nothing to do with that. We don't do that here. This is a purpose and a point. Equip yourself. The church in America and the West, that's who our audience is basically, right? The church is not equipped to bring the gospel to Muslims. And most of that is your fault. It's our fault. We're not interested. When I say we're going to get low ratings in this, I guarantee you, because I look at the statistics and the data of videos that we put out. And if it's about the mark of the beast or the Antichrist, way up. If it's about Muslims, way down. Why is that? Why? Oh, especially, hey, you want major ratings? Say, we know who the Antichrist is. Or the Antichrist or the beast that's coming and all that, the system and the nations that surround Israel and attack her, they're all Muslim. I believe that. I do teach that. If I said that in this video, up. Lots of viewers. Lots of interest. Will you share this video? Because we need to engage them. We can't just watch the bad stuff happen and watch them go to hell. Is that what you want? Because that's not what Jesus wants. He's not willing that any should perish. Any should perish. Any includes Iraqis, Iranians, Turks, Saudis, Jordanians, Egyptians, Russians. Okay, on and on. But the point is, all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of Muslims. You know, most Muslims in the world never have met a Christian. They have never heard the gospel, period. They haven't had a chance to reject it. They haven't had a chance to argue about it. They haven't had a chance to engage. They've never heard it. Never heard it. And they're lied to by their families and their nations and their imams and all. And they say, if you're born into a Muslim family, you are a Muslim and there's no way out. If you say you're going to leave, we kill you. Okay, so that's not the truth. They don't realize that they can believe the gospel and be saved. Oh, well, you're a Christian. That's the only, if they have any knowledge of Christianity at all, it's, oh, those are other people and we don't mix together. They're born that way. It's kind of like the gay thing, right? They're born that way. So that's what they are forever. And we're a Muslim. I was born this way, and that's the way I have to be forever. Lies, lies, lies. So if you care about their souls, if you care about being equipped, if you don't think it's just a fact, you know what? I'm willing. I just don't know what to do. Or I don't feel like I'm ready. Pray about it. Get a ticket to this conference and learn. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. You know, the devil can take, whatever he wants. That's fine. He has no real power over believers, friends. Don't you know that? All he has is lies. Even if he kills your body, so what? We're not going to die. We're coming back, baby. And we're going to take a few of his Muslims with us. And guess what? I've said this for a long time, and I believe it more and more every time as the days go by. We're all looking for Apostle Paul, right? Extreme conversion experience from a persecutor of the church to the greatest evangelist in the history of the church. Wouldn't you like to see that? Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you like to see that? I think there's many of them coming. Pauls. Many. And you know what? They're all going to be former Muslims. And how has somebody become a former Muslim? By being told what the gospel is. That's your job. We are so bad at it right now. We are so derelict in our duty that Jesus has to be appearing to them in person. Did you know that? This is not the way. Okay, this is not the plan. Okay, the plan is you to get the gospel to them. But Jesus now is appearing directly in dreams and visions and prophetic words and things like that to Muslims who don't understand who they're looking at. Most times they're like, I don't know, it was some guy in white and that says, go listen to this, person who talks to you at the gas station today. It's our job. The Great Commission is your responsibility. Whether it's to Muslims or to the Jewish people or to unsaved people everywhere. But we know the way it began is the way it's going to end. What has already been will be again, right? There's nothing new under the sun. It started in Jerusalem and it's spread out to what we call Muslim nations now. At the end of the age, it's going to go back through the Muslim nations and back into Jerusalem and Israel. It's a preordained pattern. So be a part of it or get out of the way. But don't say you're a true blue born again believer in Jesus if you get out of the way. You're going to have to answer for that. We are. I am. Partner with what the Holy Spirit is doing or rethink your life. Right? That's the point we're getting to. No more gray areas. Love me, then you obey me. That's it. That's what the Lord told us. That's what he told me. That's what he told you. If you love me, do what I say. And what does he say? It's not the Torah that he said. He says, go make disciples. That's what he told us. The law of love, grace, forgiveness. Extend that grace and forgiveness to another the way I extended it to you. Tell them about me. Tell them that I'm willing to forgive them. Even though, they're the worst enemy and they persecuted me. What? He doesn't hold back. He's a great God. Worthy of all praise and worthy of everything we can give, including our very flesh, our life. Because he gave it for you. All right, my friends, that's all for this edition of Unsealed, the official podcast of Wings of the Eagle. Please subscribe and share and give. Be the church together. Did you know on Monday nights we are going through the entire book of Revelation, verse by verse. We are going to do chapter 11 this week. If you've missed any of it, it's in the archives at Wings of the Eagle YouTube channel or End Time Church YouTube channel. Major events and things happening with online church and with house churches. Again, if any of this is ringing a bell to you, please just give our pages a visit. Get the free app. Did you know we had an app? Endtime.church has an app. Go to endtime.app. Endtime.app. It'll bring you directly from your phone, your tablet, your computer directly to the app store to get it. And you're off and running. All right, my friends. Love you so much. Until next time, Lord willing, this is Pastor Manti for Wings of the Eagle. This has been Unsealed.
To hear previous episodes, to obtain resources, and to support this ministry, visit unsealedpodcast.com.
Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But he who stands firm to the end will be saved.